So out of Cato's letters come many famous quotes or lines that are used throughout literature today and in various public spheres. Among them are, "Bitter are the roots of study, but how sweet their fruit. In doing nothing, men learn to do evil. Consider in silence whatever anyone says. Speech both conceals and reveals the inner soul of man. I will begin to speak when I have that to say which had not better be unsaid. Wise men profit more by fools than fools by wise men. An honest man is seldom a vagrant. Flee sloth, for the indolence of the soul is the decay of the body. He who hesitates is lost. After I'm dead, I'd rather have people ask why I have no monument than why I have one." So these notions live on today in the Cato Institute, the libertarian think tank that is very big in public information, including through a journal it published until last fall. So some of the ideas to keep in mind to understand what Cato is all about, the man and the play and the legacy, one can look at this quote and then 5 key lessons to learn from him. So the quote that sums up Cato is, "'Tis not in mortals to command success, but we'll do more, we'll deserve it." And the we in this case is immortals. So the way one becomes immortal, according to Cato, or according to the practice of Stoicism, is to do your speaking via your actions. Speak by gesture, by doing. To be absolutist, no compromise, no gray areas. To fear nothing. To let pain steal you so that would-be harms are just easy brush-offs, akin to why people play the game The Dozens, for instance, so that you know every insult, every thing that could possibly be said negatively, and none of that is of essence. And then the final thing is know to build your legacy with the knowledge that you do not control it. Others will put their stories in and around it, and those things will prevail. So that is the essence of how Cato has played a role in the world for more than 2,000 years, how he went from ancient Rome to modern America in the form of the Cato Institute. And now we'll back up a little and take a look at 2 particular areas, the colonial days, or particularly the days of the Revolution, and early Black colleges. So first, in the days of the Revolution, it comes from this notion that Caesar wanted to end Cato and George Washington wanted to be him. So as the play was debuting across the pond in 1713, in the colonies, skirmishes and brutal battles with the Native Americans were pretty much winding down, such that the colonists were envisioning this land as their own and starting to think about what that would mean for leadership. It's also interesting that some people think it's the writings about Cato that are most responsible for his living on. But the fact that it was a play means people first came to understand it mostly on the stage. So on the stage in the colonies, it was performed numerous times. One example is during the darkest days at Valley Forge between 1777 and 1778, Washington had his offers see a performance of it. And Washington writes in a letter to a lady friend that I should think my time more agreeable spent in playing a part in Cato, with myself being Juba to such a Marcia as you would make. Clearly some flirting there and understanding the importance of the relationship between Juba and Marcia in the play. Cato was performed about 28 times, or what is known so far, in the colonies, compared with 35 performances of Romeo and Juliet. So the first of the 28 known colonial performances of Cato took place in 1732. There were performances at Harvard and William and Mary and Princeton and other universities and so forth. And then Cato's letters got reprinted such that now it is the most popular, quotable, esteemed source of political ideals in the colonial period. And everyone from Abigail Adams to Alexander Hamilton to Ben Franklin to James Madison had some quotes or paraphrases from Cato. Here are a few examples. The two most famous lines from the Revolution are paraphrases from Cato. Nathan Hale's "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country" comes from Cato, and Patrick Henry's "Give me liberty or give me death" comes from him. And Jefferson's library at Monticello which was the first collection at the Library of Congress, contains a copy of Addison's collected writings, which includes Cato. The First Amendment draws much of its language from Cato's letters, which say that people must be able to, quote, represent their public grievances and to petition for redress to those whose duty it is to right them. So after understanding the person about whom the play is a fictionalized version, the play itself and the playwright and how it was used both on the other side of the pond and in the colonies, I was able to then start looking at how the play might have been used on early Black college campuses. So to do that analysis, I figured out the scope and frame, and we'll share that with you. And then we'll talk about some of the documents I looked at beyond the ones we've just talked about, and then the final analysis and conclusion. So the scope is, I chose to look at 3 early Black colleges between the years 1882 and